Hi folks, how you doing? This is a quick video about psychology and managing your emotions type stuff. Quick caveat at the start, this is all just my experiences. This advice may be useless to you or worse than useless, so take it all with a pinch of salt for your own as advice to someone else, but I thought it was worth sharing. It's worked pretty well for me. So basically, I've started approaching my emotions a little bit differently, or anxious kind of emotions a bit differently to what I was doing before. So, all my life, I think if I had a sort of negative thought, I'd probably try either take it seriously and get down in the dumps or whatever, or I'd kind of try to fight it with like argue with myself and say no, there is this bright side, or there's I'm not that bad at this thing, or this thing might go well. It's not all doom and gloom or whatever. But now my approach is just to say to myself, it just doesn't matter how I feel about this, and I just find that works really well. It just kills dead this negative train of thought, or this sort of anxiety that I need to sort of think about this thing based on this piece of criticism I've just thrown at myself. So, to flesh it out a bit, I kind of just lost respect for my emotions. I think of my emotions as a bit like a monkey or something, or a toddler version of myself, or a drunk version of myself, or something. Imagine a scenario if you're on like a rowing boat and you're trying to go places, and there's this monkey or toddler version of yourself, or a drunk version of yourself, or something in, let's just call it a monkey just for simplicity's sake, though I don't want to be too negative about monkeys. I think animals get it in the neck enough. But actually, just call it the drunk version of yourself. So the drunk, if you're on a boat with a drunk version of yourself, and the drunk version of yourself really wants to take over the boat, then one thing you won't do is take what the drunk person says seriously, because they're just saying drunk stuff. They're just talking rubbish, and they're being harmful, and they're trying to manipulate you and that kind of stuff. I see my emotions as that kind of character. That doesn't mean I can't enjoy having good emotions, or that I'm not stuck with my emotions, or that I can't, really, that it isn't of some importance what the emotions are doing. But what I was doing before is just taking seriously, like thinking, oh, if I've thought of this thing, like I'm not good enough, or this isn't gonna go well, or I'm not very good at this thing, or whatever. And I just because I've it's come in my head with a bit of emotion, a bit of fear or something attached to it, I've kind of started taking it seriously. But now I just tell myself how I feel doesn't really matter, and that there's no truth in emotion. Emotion is just a lot of stuff that's just things that's trying to manipulate you. It's like nature trying to manipulate you to do certain things. But my rational brain really doesn't have to take it seriously. And there is a caveat that I suppose if it gets really bad, if emotions get really bad, then you do have to take them seriously to the extent of like getting help or something. Then yeah, I think this kind of breaks down at that point. It does. You do have to take this. You do have to take the effects of emotion seriously. But what I was doing before was I was helping the emotions cause problems by taking what they were saying seriously, and as I said, not just killing off the train of thought as soon as it starts. Just kill it by saying what my emotions just don't matter. What I feel just doesn't matter. Now I know this is a little bit like a paradoxical thing. It's a bit like the happiness paradox kind of thing. If you try to be happy, you won't be happy. I mean, it's a little bit like that kind of thing where I'm saying to myself, my emotions don't matter, but I can't fully back that up because my emotions matter as much as anybody's emotions. One little story I did start with telling myself, I haven't done it so much more recently, but what I was thinking at the beginning was, where this came from actually, was I was thinking of there's billions of people in the world, some of them are starving and so on. I should really be putting my feelings aside and really become a moral person and really become a workaholic, get 2 jobs and give it all to charity, that kind of thing. I think that when I thought that, and I thought, oh, I really just could put my own happiness aside, that's where I kind of got this kind of perspective to stop. And then that had this sort of unexpected effect that it seemed to tame sort of anxious thoughts I have from time to time. So I think that's kind of summed it up. Yeah, basically, I kind of like this scenario of a rowing boat where you're there with your drunk self or something. And I'm not sure I said this a moment ago, but if you really emotions get really too bad, it's a bit like you moor the boat and you get help or something. But for the most part, you can just get by having this drunk version of yourself on the boat. But you just don't take anything they say seriously. They're trying to like hurt your feelings or something. They're trying to take over the boat basically. So just don't take them seriously. I think that's summed it up, and I hope it could be useful to you. But as I said at the beginning, this just worked for me, so it may not follow that it works for others. All the best.